It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today as we finish out another week here on the channel. It is a Friday and I have a great Masterpiece Friday for y'all today. I know it's going to be great because it's music by Rush, and Rush never disappoints. We're going to be listening to side 2 of their classic 1982 album Signals today. I started listening to this. We did side 1 last month, and I'm really eager to get to finish it on today's episode. So today, with this video, it'll be my 15th video dedicated to music by Rush. And we've listened to a bunch of their songs and albums. We've listened to Moving Pictures, all of Moving Pictures, all of Permanent Waves, Hemispheres, we've done Cygnus, we've done La Vie Changeante, we've done all sorts of great stuff by them, and they never disappoint, and I'm just really looking forward to finishing up this album. This is their 9th album, as we recall. It was released in the fall of 1982, and the album turned 41 about a week ago, y'all, and I have the 40th anniversary edition. We're going to be listening to side 2 today, where the dog is interacting a bit with the fire hydrant. Remember, side 1 was like this. Isn't this a lovely picture disc? It's just lovely. And I have imported my the audio from this, my personal copy of the 40th anniversary LP, and so that's what we're going to be listening to today, audio from my specific copy. It's going to be great. This album, it came a year and a half after Moving Pictures, and almost a year after their second live album, which was Exit Stage Left. And with Signals on this album, and as I heard last time, y'all, they are moving into the 80s and adding to their core sound, mostly with the inclusion of keyboards and synthesizers. And it provides a little bit of a different, just basic sound from this band, and they're moving forward, and it's really interesting to hear them just sort of moving with the times with their art. Like I said, side 1 was pretty awesome, y'all. Last month we listened to Subdivisions, The Analog Kid, Chemistry, and The Digital Man, the first 4 songs. Today, as we turn it over to side 2, we've got The Weapon, which is part 2 of the Fear trilogy. We've got New World Man, Losing It, and Countdown. And I can't wait, y'all. We've got Geddy Lee on bass and synthesizers and vocals, and on the songwriting, Alex Lifeson is on guitars, the Moog pedals, and he is also one of the songwriters. Neil Peart is on the drums and percussion, and he is the lyricist. So, like I said, we're going to be listening to my own vinyl copy of this 40th anniversary release, and I have heard The Weapon, which starts side 2. I have heard that one before as part of the Fear trilogy, but every other title that I'm looking at here seems new to me. But before we get into it, I know y'all are going, let's get to it, Doug. I have a cocktail, y'all. I have a beer today. I have one of my favorite beers. This is an Allagash. Allagash is a great brewery up in Maine, and I love this beer, this Belgian-style triple, so I'm going to pop the top on that one. And I've got a Mount Desert Island pint glass. Isn't that cool? And I'm going to pour that right in there, and I'll enjoy this as we go. I also am wearing a shirt that works for us today. This is Jetties. I'll hold it up here. Maybe you can see it, right? It's a Rush-themed shirt from Bar Harbor, Maine. This is a restaurant up in Bar Harbor that's quite lovely, and it's called Jetties, and so they have some Rush-themed shirts, and the back is quite cool as well. But let's see, I've got my beer in here, and I'm going to give it a sip. Boy, it's so hoppy and so tasty. Love it. Okay. Got my cocktail, got my shirt, I've got the album from my own copy. I'm ready to go. Finally, y'all. So let's start it off. This is Rush and Signals, side 2, and we're going to start with The Weapon. Off we go. when I heard this before, I heard a live version of it. So this will be the first time that I'm hearing the studio version. Bum, bum, bum. 3, 7, 1 in G. Got a little crackle from my turntable, which just makes it better. Same thing in a different key. Thy kingdoms will be done. And the things that we fear are a weapon to be held against us. Yeah, this is part of the Fear trilogy. And in this one, we're looking at how fear is used against us, right? Step. Made it back to G.
Can any part of life be larger than life? Even love must be limited by time. And those who push us down that they might climb. Is any killer worth more than his crime?
Is any killer worth more than his crime?
Like a speedy blade in the silken sheet, we don't see.
Goes up a step. They were doing that in G, now they're doing it around A. It's kind of a slithery pattern from Neil on the drums. The knowledge that they fear is a weapon that can be used against them. Did the same thing before. I think they went down to D. D flat. See, all of this filling in the gaps here is done by the synthesizers. Hear those clicks? Huh, you know it's off of a vinyl when you hear those little pops. But it's so alive off the vinyl, all uncompressed. So that when Alex comes in, it's really tasteful and working with everything else that's already there. It kind of sounds like Jeff Beck playing a little bit too. A to B, and back to A, and then back to G. Really interesting, just kind of moving around the key area there. Really slick.
He's not afraid of your judgment. He knows the water's worse than your head. He's a little bit afraid of dying, but he's a lot more afraid of your lying.
D minor, the saddest of all keys. He's not afraid of your judgment. He knows of horrors worse than your hell. He's a little bit afraid of dying, but he's a lot more afraid of your lying. What they're talking about are the things that we fear, the knowledge that we have. If other people can kind of dial up our number, they can use it against us as a weapon, and that's what they're talking about. It's going to keep going, I think, it should. There it goes. To New World Man. I was wondering if this is going to be a follow-up to the Analog Kid and Digital Man on the first side. But I don't think this directly relates to the other two songs. I expect for this one to sound a little classic, like Classic Rush too, because they wrote it on one day, then they recorded the next. They didn't do all the bells and whistles with it, they just kept it live and raw, a little like what they used to do.
He's cleaning up the systems to keep his nature pure. Learning to match the beat of the old world man. Learning to catch the heat of the third world man.
The relative minor.
He's got to make his own mistakes and learn to mend the mess he makes. He's old enough to know what's right, but young enough not to choose it. He's noble enough to win the world, but weak enough to lose
He's
it.
noble enough to win the world, but weak enough to lose it. He's a new world man. Caught among a whole bunch of inconsistencies and expectations, it sounds like.
Tons of factories and farms. He's a writer and a ranger and a young boy bearing arms. He's got a problem with his power, with weapons on patrol. He's got to walk a fine line and keep his self-control.
That sounds like 2-5.
Trying to save the day for the old world man.
They don't go to 5.
Trying to
Back to
pave the
1.
way for the third world man.
New 1. So they're in F, but they're also in D minor.
Concerned with yesterday, he knows constant change is here today. He's noble enough to know what's right, but weak enough not to choose it.
That's
He's
cool.
wise enough to win the world, but fool enough to lose it.
Man, these lyrics are great.
Learning to match the beat of the old world.
He's learning to match the beat of the old world man,
He's learning
and he's learning to catch the heat of the third world man. He's a new world man. It's what it's like to live today in the new world. Playing off of what came before and different strata of society to try to figure out where you fit and how you're going to live your life. He's not concerned with yesterday. He knows constant change is here today. He's noble enough to know what's right, but weak enough not to choose it. He's wise enough to win the world, but fool enough to lose it. A New World Man. Fascinating. Up next is a song called Losing It. I read there's going to be a violin in this. Ben Mink is the violin player. Some more of those pops. I checked it, and we didn't have any big skips, so I think we're going to be okay.
Dancers slows a frantic pace in pain and desperation. Her aching limbs and downcast face aglow with perspiration. Stiff as wire, her lungs on fire with just the briefest pause. Flooding through her memory, the echoes of old applause. And she limps across the floor.
She limps across the floor and closes her bedroom door. This is a dancer. Another great lyric from Neil. We're focusing on two characters who are past their prime. One a dancer, one a writer. Hear the violin. Beautiful. That's an E flat minor. Pretty sure, y'all. G flat. C flat. That's a 6. That's about the writer.
And he stares out the kitchen door, where the sun will rise no more.
This is based on the life of, hang on. We move to major, parallel major. Flat 7 to major 1. It's flat 6, flat 7. Bell tolls for me. Plus 5. It's based on the life of the writer. It's based on Ernest Hemingway, y'all, from what I read. It's like they're prolonging one, but they're not giving it to you. Is that going to fade out? Awesome. They haven't performed this often live from what I read. Whew. Really cool song. We got one more, friends, and it's called Countdown. And this is inspired by their visit, the band's visit to Cape Canaveral, Florida. They got to watch the Space Shuttle Columbia being launched. It was the first launch of the Space Shuttle program, April 12th, 1981. And this song was inspired by their experience there. Really syncopated, but it's still just in 4. I believe they're holding over an E in the bass. Go for launch. Voice is tense. Soon the final. The lyrics are so evocative. T-minus 9. Here's Getty's bass. So thick you can cut it with a knife. I've gotten to go to a launch at Cape Canaveral. I was a kid, late 80s. It was amazing to watch. Essentially,
We've gone for redundant set sequencer start. Minus 20 seconds and counting. Minus 15, 14, 13, minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We've gone to main engine start. We have
needs to start to tremble. No chorus here, but they've repeated some of these words from a previous verse. Nice. The smoke lingers high in the air in fascination with the eyes of the world we stare. You just put a handful of people in something that looks like a small plane and strapped them to a big ass rocket and shot them into space. synth lead.
Columbia South Series push precise window in space for main engine cutoff. Mark 2 minutes 40 seconds. Columbia now 39 nautical miles to altitude, 42 nautical miles downrange. Columbia, you're looking a little hot. All your calls will be a little early. Youngest trip is really moving out. Now velocity now reading 1,600 feet per second.
10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10.
Glad you're enjoying it. 300 all up.
As they fade out in a 10 groove. It sounds from NASA.
And we enjoyed the music, Bob. Thank you. We enjoyed it. We just wanted to share something.
And there we go. It's a hopeful record. It really does. And come off that way to me. And the fascination with the launch reminds me of some of the sci-fi stuff that they had gone to earlier in their career. So it's still the Rush guys being fascinated with the same stuff that they've been fascinated with, and the music just slowly evolves as they grow in maturity with each other and in their concepts of the world around them. What a fun listen, y'all. Signals. Love it. Love it. I'm going to have this on my turntable quite often, I think. So, what do I want to say about this? The band was coming off of Permanent Waves. They were coming off of Moving Pictures, and Moving Pictures is still their most commercially successful album. So, as they're about to come out with their new album, I think people would have been thinking, you know, what direction are they going to go? Are they going to try to do a follow-up and recreate the magic of Moving Pictures, or are they going to, you know, seek new musical horizons? You know, how are they going to do this? What's going to be next for them? And it's a real, you know, possibility one way or the other. And I think that Signals is a natural progression and growth for the band. But as I read in, y'all, for some of the longtime fans, the keyboards and the synths that were included on this album were a bit too intrusive, especially as the keyboards seemed to overshadow some of Alex's great guitar playing at times, or what we would where we would expect to hear Alex playing his guitar, right? But for other people, this emerging sound from the band was quite exciting. I found a quote from Trent Reznor, who said that the way that the band started integrating synthesizers with their hard rock sound was wildly exciting and influential. And I can see that as well. The thing that I love about this band and about what I'm hearing here is just how the great virtuosic playing of all three guys in the band was given some context amid these synthesizers and keyboard sounds that they included on the album. I've said in the past that the band occasionally sounds like three great soloists all riffing off of each other, and that's an amazing sound that they give you. But having the keys and the synths in there, in my opinion, nicely complement everything that they're already doing. And when Alex does come in with a great solo, amid this context, it's fresh and exciting, and it takes on a different level of musicianship. And they've got more glue in their sound, which connects all of the sounds that they're giving, you know, individually, and it makes it more of a lovely package. Instead of three excellent virtuosic players just all playing at the same time, and it magically has this raw energy to it. It's wonderful, but this is a little more polished, and I find it quite exciting. Even with all that has been said about Signals and how they're changing their sound or maturing or what have you, what does Alex think about it? Alex has said that he agrees with the consensus that this album is among the band's most important and interesting record. And he has said that he is as proud of Signals as any one of their offerings. Does he wish that he might have had the chance to do more overt soloing and playing? Maybe, but it's a real cohesive album and it sounds great. And 41 years later, off the vinyl, it sounds fresh and exciting, and all of the songs are still topical. They're talking about real stuff, y'all, that we deal with every day. The weaponization of our fear. You know, I think we can all understand that. How do we act and behave and interact with other people and think and put ourselves into historical context in this new world? Well, New World Man speaks to that. And I think we can all get to that as well. Losing It is about two different types of characters who were great at what they did at one time, but time has passed and they are aware that they're no longer at the top of their game and they're losing it. That's something that as I get into middle age that I worry about and deal with as well. And then Countdown, our fascination with space travel and what is beyond this mortal coil that we are all on. You know, it's just a lovely side of a lovely album, and it's been great to listen to Signals from Rush. I have really enjoyed this. I've got a little bit of my beer left. I will drink this as soon as we're done. But I believe that is all for today and this week, y'all. I have really enjoyed the week, and this is a great way to top it off. Signals from Rush, Side 2. I very much enjoyed all 4 of these songs. The Weapon, New World Man, Losing It, and Countdown. A great side of a great album, and I'm going to continue to enjoy listening to this as the weeks and months and years go on. But that is all for today. Thank you for being with me, y'all. I really do appreciate it. We'll be back next week with a lot more great music, but that is all for today. Thanks for being with me, and I will see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.
It's the Daily Doug. Welcome to the Daily Doug. The Daily